Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to another episode of Sneaker Talk, where I talk about the latest sneaker releases, sneaker collections, and just sneakers in general. In today's episode, we actually are not talking about a sneaker. It's a boot, but I don't have a boot series. I'm not going to create a whole new series called Boot Talk, you know? Like, no, we're going to do it in the Sneaker Talk episodes because that's where we just talk about shoes. And I wasn't going to call it Shoe Talk because who the hell's going to watch something called Shoe Talk, you know? No, it's still going to be called Sneaker Talk, even though we're talking about a boot today. So, what are we going to be talking about? In today's episode, we're going to talk about the recently released Dr Martens and Pleasures collaboration on a pair of 1460s as part of the 1460 Remastered Program. We're finally doing it. We're finally doing it. Because, okay, this collaboration actually released a while ago. It didn't release last week. Weekend. It released the weekend before that. It released on June 27th. But we have been covering all of the collaborations with Dr Martens this year to do with the 1460 Remastered Program. And you're probably like, what the hell is the 1460 Remastered Program? Well, that famous iconic boot that's worn by all the edgy art students and, you know, people that love Dr Martens in general. It's just the general demographic of the 1460s is art students for whatever reason. It's a very nice boot. I'm not discrediting it. I love it. I personally would buy myself a pair, but I haven't bought myself a pair of shoes in like almost a year now, which I keep meaning to make a video about, but it's not going to happen this weekend because I'm going away. So we will find time eventually where I will talk about that, because I do want to talk about why I've stopped consuming a lot of shoes, why I've stopped buying a lot of shoes, and there's a whole reason behind that. But regardless, anyway, we're going to talk about the collaboration, even though it released ages ago, because we need to cover it. We've been covering all the other ones. We're going to cover this one. So yes, in today's video, we're going to discuss all the release details, go over all the official photos of the Dr Martens Pleasures collaboration on the 1460s as part of the 1460 Remastered Program. Now, what is the 1460 Remastered Program? Well, the 1460 Remastered Program is a program that has been put in place this year in 2020 to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the iconic 1460. How about that? I've been praising the actual program itself. I like how Dr Martens has been handling this. A lot of the time when brands have a sneaker that has a birthday, for an example, the Air Jordan 1, you know, Nike, whenever there's like an anniversary, right, they don't really celebrate it in any monumental ways. They usually just do either a retro of one of the colorways, or they kind of just do an advertising campaign and release a bunch of crappy colorways. I really like Dr Martens' approach on this for the 60th anniversary of the 1460 boot. They've scoured the contemporary designer, you know, landscape and gone, you know what, we like your work. Can you remaster our iconic 1460 boot in whatever way you see fit? And I really like that. I think that's a really good way to handle an anniversary of a shoe's birthday, you know? I think it's really good. So what they have done this time around is they have asked Pleasures to come along and redesign their 1460 boot in whatever way possible for the June release, because it releases every month. They ask a new contemporary designer or brand to come along every month and do it. So they asked Pleasures to do the June collaboration, and yeah, in today's video we're going to head on over to a HYPEBEAST article to cover everything to do with it, the release details, the inspiration, you know, photos of it, everything like that. Now, if you guys want me to keep covering the 1460 Remastered releases, hopefully before they release, don't forget to leave this video a big old like, comment in the comment section down below, and to subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to aim for 2,400 subs before the end of July. Hopefully we can hit it. We're doing pretty well, guys. I gotta say, we just hit 2,340, although some people are unsubscribing and then some people are subscribing, so it's kind of just sitting at 2,340. Hopefully we can hit 2,400, but you know what? We're doing good. We're good. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. So thank you guys for the continuous support. Hopefully we can reach that milestone before the end of July. But that's enough of me crapping on. Let's head on over to that HYPEBEAST article and have a look at the Pleasures Dr Martens 1460 Remastered Program. Ta-da! Okay. Initially, it's a little bit underwhelming compared to the previous collaborations. Like, I mean, Yoji Yamamoto's was covered in spiderwebs and stuff like that, and it looked crazy and wild. But this one, its details are a little bit more subtle, especially when it's surrounded by a background that's so wild and so crazy. But when we scroll down, this is where we notice the design choices a little bit more, and it's a little bit easier to see. But let's dive into it. So, Dr Martens and Pleasures mix punk with new wave for the 1460 collaboration, contrasting materials referencing the clash of genres. Dr Martens has continued its 1460 remastered project by reuniting with Pleasures for another take on the classic boot silhouette. The collaboration takes inspiration from two music genres, mixing the energy of punk, which I imagine is going to be the darkened leather here, with a more polished and modern feel of new wave. So the new wave would be the patent leather there. The inspiration for the design came from Pleasures' founder Alex James' experience growing up listening to punk with his friends while his friends listened to new wave. By mixing the two genres, James wanted to show how the 1460 has been a touchstone for generations of subcultures. It really has touched so many different subcultures, hasn't it? Referencing this clash of genres, the boot is split in half. On one side of each boot is polished patent leather to represent new wave. I was right. This is contrasted against this with tough, unpolished leather in honor of punk's rawness. Like, I reckon, not to critique James's design too much here, I reckon he could have gone for something like a suede, you know, something that's more raw, something that's more beaten up looking, you know. I mean, not to discredit him too much, but traditional leather looks a little bit too polished for me for punk, you know. For punk, I see it as raw and underground and, you know, real, and I kind of feel like suede would represent that more because it's a unrefined material. It's very you can see the fibers of suede, and it's very, you know what I mean. It's very real. Yeah, I don't know. But I understand his design choice here as well. Finishing off the design is a Pleasures Now heel strip, dual laces, and hook eyelets. Yeah, true. They've gone with hook eyelets instead of the traditional holes, so the eyelets are where the laces go through. So they've changed it up a little bit more. See, it's all in the little details here. Take a look at the Pleasures x Doc Marten collaboration in the gallery above. The latest 1460 remastered boot will release on June 27th via Doc Martens' web store and select stockists. So I assume it's going to be released on the Pleasures store. Okay, well, let's have a look. Let's dive into this release and see how the 1460 collaboration with Pleasures held up. So to start it off with, we have the glamorous photo shoot that they've done for every single collaboration so far. It features what looks like a background that's being torn away to showcase, I guess, punk-inspired imagery on one side and new wave imagery on the other. I think that was what they were trying to go for here. It showcases everything on the boot here, so we have the split leather there with a stitching down the middle of it as well. That's kind of cool. It has the Pleasures Now on the heel on the back here. Raw leather where the Pleasures Now is, obviously to call back to James, the designer from Pleasures, who was more into punk, so that's why I can understand why he's gone with the raw leather for the heel here, and obviously the polished patent leather for the new wave lovers that were his friends. It's on both toes, the split leather, and it also looks like it's on the eyelet panels as well. So we can see that the polished patent leather is here, and the normal raw leather is right there, which is kind of cool. We can also see the hook eyelets here, which is a very cool little subtle change there. It actually complements the 1460 silhouette really well here. I didn't really think about it too much, but it actually works really well with the 1460 boot. We'll go through the final two images. They really love showcasing this like split between the leathers on the toe box, but I get it because that's like the whole idea of the design there. There you go, Doc Martens Airway 60 years leisure with bouncing soles. Man, I never would have thought Doc Martens is a comfortable brand, so I don't know why they're trying to promote this idea that they're really comfortable. I mean, they're kind of comfortable when they're like really beaten in, but when you first wear Doc Martens, any Doc Martens lover will tell you the first time wearing them and the first couple times wearing them is one of the worst experiences when it comes to shoes, because these things are tough. These things are super raw on your feet, mainly because if you guys didn't know, 1460s feature no foam on the inside of the leather. So the leather is literally hitting your feet. So as you move, that hard material is rubbing and moving up against your feet. You're gonna get blisters. You're gonna get blisters. That's just the iconic 1460 feel though. That's how it is. But all in all, this is kind of a cool collaboration. I like Pleasure's take on the actual 1460 boot. For me, I wouldn't say it's the best collaboration we've seen so far. I'm unsure on which one I would have to say is the best. I could do a top 5 video at the end of the year, if you guys remind me. I could do a top 5 video on my top 5 favorite 1460 Remastered Program collaborations through the year. So I'll pick my top 5 favorite out of the 12 that are going to get released in total this year. But I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but it's not necessarily bad either. I like the inspiration behind James's design here, and I like what he's done. It's cool. It's very easily wearable. He hasn't changed the colors of the boot at all. It's still black on black with the orange lacing going around the midsole there. It's still kept iconic. It's very nice. I would say he's done a good job. I'm very keen to see what July's 1460 Remastered Program is going to look like. You know, who's going to come at it this month. But I would say the June's one was quite well done. It was quite well done. I could see myself wearing something like this just because it's easy to wear. You know, it's black on black. It's not something crazy like Yohji Yamamoto's was with all the spider webs on it and stuff like that. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you like Pleasure's take on the 1460? Is it your favorite one so far that we've seen out of all the 1460 projects this year? Or you're not feeling it? You're kind of like, this is kind of weak in comparison to the previous releases this year. That's totally understandable. I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions on Pleasure's 1460 as a part of the 1460 Remastered Program on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or as always down in that comment section below. That is it, guys. That is the Pleasure's 1460 that released as part of the 1460 Remastered Program. It was very cool. Definitely not my favorite, but you can't really, you know, nitpick about it. It's black on black, subtle leather changes, still easily wearable, and some nice little additions like those eyelets and the Pleasures now at the back of the heel there as well. It's some nice little details there. I think it's cool, but how do you guys feel about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Would you buy it? Did you buy it? It released on June 27th, so a little while ago. Did you pick it up? Let me know. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on the Doc Martens Pleasures 1460s down in that comment section below. And if you guys want me to keep covering the upcoming 1460 Remastered projects with, you know, future collaborators in the upcoming months, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, comment in the comment section down below, and to subscribe to the channel as we are trying to aim for 2,400 subs by the end of July. Hopefully we can hit it, but it's honestly up to you guys. Thank you so much for the support that we've gotten so far. We've now just hit 2,340 subs, which is a big milestone. Well, any milestone's a big milestone in my eyes, so thank you guys for the continuous support. Hopefully we can hit our new milestone of 2,400 by the end of July. But that's all I really got to say about the Doc Martens Pleasures 1460 collaboration. So until the next 1460 Remastered Program, till the next Doc Martens release, till the next Pleasures release, guys, I'll catch you later.